The Men Who Care will lead a march to highlight the scourge of gender-based violence. Free State Premier Sisi Ntombela announced that 6 women were killed this week in the province. It's alleged that a director in one of the provincial departments raped his 11-year-old daughter in Putadichaba and Qwaqwa. Our reporter Aphumelele Mdlalane is there. Let's cross live to her. Aphumelele, you're in Heidedal. What's happening where you are?
Desiree, indeed, we are in Heidedal. This is where men are in solidarity, about to march to the police station of Heidedal to say, of course, a call to say no to gender-based violence against women and children. This is not the first of a kind march that we've seen this week. Earlier this week, we've seen ANC Women's League also marching, and also Sanko, to say no to this national cry. Just with me right now, I'm joined by the organizer. Zama, just take us through your demands today. We know that men have been saying a lot to say no to children abuse, children violence, and also women. What is your message today?
Our message today is to say that we need to stand up as the society, being in government, in private sector, in those that are involved in business, NGOs, to declare that gender-based violence, rape and femicide as a national crisis. And we are saying that today we are marching to say that it is very much important that the policies and the implementation, it must be taken task with immediate effect by the government. It must enforce that those that they have been or the perpetrators, they must be found, must be brought to book and ensure that they account, because we cannot no longer have an environment that is not safe for women and all the girl children that are around the society. We are standing up today to say that we need to take responsibility. We as men, we need to protect the women and the young children across the society in the whole country. So you would remember that as well, that Free State is known particularly, the last month we were celebrating the Women's Month on the 9th of August and 1956. You would remember that Free State was one of the provinces that women were resisting with the anti-pass law. So we are standing up here today in the Free State as men in the Free State to say that enough is enough about the gender-based violence. And the Free State, we are taking a lead as the Free State men, and we are encouraging everyone else in the whole country to take part.
It's interesting that you mentioned on your placards that responsible men. What do you mean by saying responsible men are the ones who are marching today?
Yes, by referring to responsible men, we say that those that they are family members, though that they are playing significant role in parenting, they have a responsibility in the role to ensure that the societal values they have been upheld. So we're saying that they must play a role, they must march today to ensure that they encourage everyone to play their role, to be responsible, to ensure that the society at large, as men, they play the role of protecting and creating peace within the society.
You've also mentioned that you'll be giving the memorandum to Premier rather than police. And I asked why Premier but police are the ones who are responsible to make sure that they are enforcing the law.
Yes, we want that this method must actually find its place in the corridors of Parliament to ensure that, or the provincial legislature, to ensure that we need to strengthen those policies and the framework of legislature, that it must be enforced and it must be a law that must be regarded as one, maybe a treason for people to be targeting particularly women that they are defenseless, that they don't have strength to fight for themselves. So we are saying that the Premier of the Free State, she's the one that is she must assist to lead the process as the first citizen of the Free State in Parliament and in government, to ensure that the policies they are being implemented and the relevant authorities, being the South African Police Service and all other institutions, they effectively and with immediate effect attend to gender-based violence and rape in the province.
Thank you for your time. That's Zama, of course, the organizer of this march that will be starting from here to the police station, giving Premier the memorandum of their demands. Just this week only, we managed to find out that 6 of the women were, of course, allegedly killed. Also, the march that was heard earlier on, it was demonstrating this, where where in Welkom we saw that a woman who is a female student at the Goldfields TVET College, who is not the first female who was allegedly killed by the boyfriend. That's why the march, of course, when it was intensified in Welkom, just to say no to this violent attacks against women and children. We will have to see now from here, as you can see just behind me, it's not only men, of course, that are marching. We also see that there's women who are joining this march in solidarity to say, of course, enough is enough. Desiree?
How have the people attending there interacted with the latest crime stats that came out? And Bloemfontein is among some of the highest in terms of sexual assault cases.
They are quite, of course, concerned about what has been going on, of course, the recent attacks and also the statistics of crime that have come out to say now police or also the institution have to make sure, government have to make sure that this is being addressed and police are doing their work. Also, they were also complaining that seemingly looks like the law enforcers are not operating enough, they're not doing their job enough, as they can see that in many areas where students are also located, there's no patrols. Therefore, they are calling for regular patrols in towns and also where they know that it's always busy, students are targeted also. They are saying if police and also working with the community try to convey message with the community to say, let's work together, therefore this can be overcome. However, they are concerned with the statistics that have come out.
Thank you so much for that update. Apumelele Mdlalane coming to us from Heidedal in Bloemfontein.